Everything dies eventually. But Earth? Earth gets slow roasted by its own sun, and not in the way sci-fi movies like to show you. Right now, our sun is doing just fine. It's fusing hydrogen into helium in its core, and it's got enough to last a few billion years. As the hydrogen supply runs out, the core stops fusing first, leading it to contract, while the outer layers of the sun expand as hydrogen fusion continues in a shell around the core. But if you were to suddenly wake up in a futuristic humanoid alien cyborg body a few billion years into the future, you might need to be concerned. Pressures and temperatures increase as this expansion happens, causing the sun to output more energy. During the peak of the red giant phase, the sun is going to start expanding dramatically, potentially to even 1 astronomical unit, which is the current average distance between the Earth and the sun. So it could expand enough to swallow Earth entirely, but we're going to have problems long before that. In just about a billion years, the sun will be 10% more luminous than it is now, which may sound like a little, but we exist in a delicate balance. That 10% amounts to a global average temperature increase of 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's just the average. Some places will change much more. If the current rate of human-caused climate change continues, we expect that polar ice caps would be largely melted within a few thousand years, much sooner than anything else that we're discussing today. In about half that amount of time, over the next 500 million years, lots of chemical reactions start happening faster. The average temperature is 3 to 5 degrees Celsius or 5 to 9 degrees Fahrenheit warmer globally. As more ice melts, more land is exposed. This causes the Earth's albedo, or its reflectivity, to drop, creating the beginnings of what will become a self-fulfilling loop. Water vapor from rising sea levels evaporating starts a runaway greenhouse effect that we likely won't be able to do anything about if we're still around at all. All of this water vapor eventually makes its way high into the atmosphere, where it's broken apart by sunlight and starts escaping into space. Over time, this lowers sea levels, but not before causing a whole host of other problems. The extra rain weathers CO2 stored in rocks even faster, but the carbon cycle depends on volcanoes to replace it, which aren't erupting any more often. This causes plants to begin to suffocate. First, the more delicate plants, flowers, and so on will go. Pollinators and herbivorous insects quickly follow within just a few decades, centuries at the most. Generalist insects may hold on longer, like ants, cockroaches, scavenging insects, and so on. As carbon dioxide levels plummet and photosynthesis slows to a crawl, oxygen production declines as a result. If any of humanity's descendants are still alive by this point, they would not be living on the surface. The Earth will experience more extreme weather events such as stronger tropical storms, extended droughts, heat waves, and so on. Oxygen, which previously helped support the ozone layer, dwindles, and with it, the atmosphere becomes more vulnerable to solar radiation. At the same time, the atmosphere itself is thinning, as lighter elements like hydrogen escape into space. In regions with weak or no ozone, you could expect severe sunburn in just a few minutes, blindness in under an hour, and acute radiation syndrome within a day or so, depending on where you are. Not only would our ozone layer be a problem, but soon our atmosphere will be turned against us. Any survivors would be living in sealed biospheres, underground, or possibly at the polar regions, relying on technology to survive a planet that would be completely unrecognizable to us. By the time the sun enters its red giant phase and swallows up the Earth, all life likely died out long, long before. Science fiction likes to depict situations like these as sudden, and humanity has to deal with it all at once. But in reality, life will likely end in a dry, shriveled up whisper rather than a bombastic, fiery bang. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. My channel is still very small, so I would appreciate you liking and subscribing to the channel so I can continue to make these videos. Take it easy.